Yeah, even in crop production, there are factors of production that you cannot ignore. And particularly, you talk about land, labor, capital, they are all required. The same thing goes for the livestock sector. At the just concluded stakeholders consultation in Abuja, we all identify some of the current challenges, and I wish to refer to what Mr. President said during our inauguration as a committee on July 22nd, 2024. He said, people see challenges, but he sees opportunities. So, in the sense that every challenge is not insurmountable. For example, the common denominator for livestock producers is feed and fodder. Is a common feature. So, if there is scarcity, it's a challenge to entire stakeholder space. For those who are complaining about maize, the competition between man and animals for maize is legendary, is serious. So this is a big challenge to scientists and researchers into alternative feeds. I'm aware that in the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, Ibadan, many scientists from NAPRI, in Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and other research institutes, they have come up with prototypes, alternatives, especially cassava peels that can be produced into pellets and fed to animals, which is a good substitute or part of the ingredients for the animal feed. So it's a challenge to researchers now to think out of the box and see how they can provide solutions. However, we all agree at the conference that one of the major obstacles is finance. Financing livestock sector has become very, very difficult because giving loans at single digit is the dream so that farmers can access capital to support their work, while research institutes will need funding in order to carry out cutting-edge technology, to discover cutting-edge technology that can solve some of these problems. So therefore, the holistic approach to this is that the entire value chain will require the participation of relevant stakeholders to bring about the desired changes and generate innovations that will amplify productivity, that will also reduce the pressure for competition between man and animals. And also, we discovered that most of the products are being smuggled out of Nigeria, leaving the country dry. So the security apparatus at the borders must also be put on red alert to ensure that we meet the domestic requirements and address domestic need for some of these products. You smuggle them to Central African Republic through our porous borders, and those countries benefit while you leave your own country in a very difficult situation. So I think these are some of the issues, and I'm happy my colleague, based on their own research in genetic engineering, offer some promise where you can produce new species that will be resistant to some of the diseases that are prevalent. And we are now also dealing with organic processes of production where chemicals applications are limited. There is also the prospect of integrated production system where one product from the sector is going to be important to another sector. So you recycle all the product, nothing is a waste in this sector. And we have seen good examples in our climb so that we can escalate some of these good examples that we have seen and maybe the states need to carry out what we call demonstration sites, where our pastoralists can go and see what is happening and even conduct what we call experiential learning trips to other countries like Kenya that have been able to conquer its migratory system and increase its productivity, and Botswana, that is unarguably today a leading exporter of beef to Europe. These are small countries that doesn't have Nigerian potentials. In terms of GDP, hitherto, countries like Burkina Faso have a kind of 55% contribution to GDP from animal agriculture. So it's still not acceptable that we are still operating between 9 to 10% contribution to GDP from animal agriculture because of what Mr. Solari said, poor attention that the sector have suffered over the years. So, and I'm sure Mrs. Winnie will tell you that if they go to other countries where you're having interministerial conference or conversation on livestock sector, Nigeria to sit at the back because you only have a director representing Nigeria. But today, from now on, no country will put Nigeria at the back bench again because a minister is going to head the ministry and will even eventually end up chairing some of those sessions, which cannot happen in the past. So I believe this is a window of opportunity that we all have been waiting for. And now that we are here to add value to the conversation, we are telling Nigerians that a new vista has opened up for the sector whereby people can make money and also address some of these challenges that are facing them. Young people are now available to take advantage of this sector and also open it up for their own engagement. Our universities, research institute, we beckon on them to take advantage of this laudable initiative and make sure that they contribute maximally. All the space and lands wasting in many places can be converted to useful further production. Even some countries today are asking Nigeria to supply feed and fodder. So it's an entire ecosystem that is going to create opportunity for economic boom and prosperity if properly harnessed.